Last night in the Village of Dolton, we've got drama in Dolton. We've got drama. Last night in Dolton, kind of very last minute, the Board of Trustees decided to cancel a meeting, and they're trying to work out a bunch of budget details on their end. At least that's what they're saying. They canceled a meeting super last minute. But the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, she decided, well, I'm going to go ahead and roll with this meeting. I'm going to go ahead and do my thing. And so she had a crew of about 20 people in the crowd. 20 residents actually came out to the meeting. And then she had she had two supervisors there, and she had all of the people that run her individual departments come and talked to like 20 people in the community. But more importantly, she brought her attorneys, I should say. She brought two attorneys to a meeting. That's an expensive meeting, right? And what she did is she appointed a new village attorney, and she appointed a new village administrator without the trustees there to do a vote on it, and claiming that she can just go ahead and do this stuff. There's a whole bunch of drama here. What we're going to do is we're going to look at a live stream that Critical Smoker provided yesterday. I saw this live stream on Nate the Lawyer. Nate the Lawyer's covered a lot of this. And so give Critical Smoker some love. Give him a subscribe, because we're watching his feed. But even before the meeting gets started, there's something that pops up that's pretty entertaining. And so we're going to start with that. But on top of this, and I think the best segment is when the defense attorney talks, even though he's not a defense attorney, because Tiffany hasn't been charged with anything, but we know it's coming. So, but the best, there's just so much craziness going on right now. The Illinois Attorney General basically yesterday, at the same time this is all going on, released an order stating, hey, the Open Meeting Act, you guys have been violating it. So some of the stuff that Tiff talks about during this meeting, which isn't really a meeting because they don't have enough supervisors there, enough trustees there to actually have this meeting. They don't have a quorum. Some of the stuff that she's talking about, the Attorney General from Illinois is basically saying, hey, you got to provide access to these meetings. And we've talked about this before, that Tiffany Henyard claims out of necessity for safety that she is basically boxing off access to the meetings. She's made it very difficult. She's had the meetings locked up, all this kind of craziness going on. And Illinois Attorney General basically said, hey, you got to have these meetings open and you got to abide by the law. Meanwhile, the super mayor is just saying a bunch of stuff. So without further ado, let's get going, because we've got, how many segments do we have here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 segments. And if you super chat me, I will try and respond in between some of those segments. I missed a super chat last week, so I apologize. But hey, thanks for being here. Let's do this. Let's roll. This is before the meeting starts, obviously. Listen to this.
Pardon me?
Did you hear that?
No.
That guy said he was a process server. He just served Andrew Holmes. That guy said he was a process server. He just served Andrew Holmes.
Guy in the truck is a process server for the Village of Dolton. He just served Uncle Drew. He just served Andrew Holmes. We don't know what it's for, but this is right prior to a meeting that is not a meeting Uncle Drew, and he's the one that he's got some issues with the whole alleged sexual assault in Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas did not stay in Vegas unfortunately, with the super mayor's crew. So he just got served. We don't know what for, but yeah. And he still comes to the meeting. So who knows what that is about? Who knows which of many lawsuits is being thrown around, or if this is him personally? We don't really know. But right off the bat, this is what we start with. Did you ask him what
they serve him with?
Yeah, but he wouldn't tell us.
He was laughing too. He said, hey, I got it.
It was like he's an a-hole.
Oh, wow.
So
that door's locked.
This is all locked up, and that kind of stuff is going on right before. It's like there's just no end to, I mean, what other board meeting do you have that kind of stuff going on? Now, the beginning of the video, it's a lot of talk about what's kind of going on with the village, and I'm not going to play any of that stuff for you because it's boring, and I'm going to skip right to the good stuff. It's boring from the standpoint of if you are not in the Village of Dolton, it doesn't apply to you. So let's just get right to the good stuff. So I'm going to start it right in here.
Testing.
This is the beginning. Prior to this.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you guys for coming out. We're going to begin our meeting. As you can see, the Board of Trustees decided not to show up, nor did the clerk. But just so we understand, and I want to make it crystal clear for those that don't know how government works, the Board of Trustees cannot cancel a board meeting. We have regular scheduled board meeting here today after Labor Day, which was yesterday, and we're supposed to meet today at 6:30 p.m. as we always do. We meet once a month, and we vote on bills once a month. Today would have been the day that they would have voted for actual bills to be paid here in our village. So I just want to point out the things that's going on that a lot of times you guys don't record, y'all don't report, you just report one-sided narratives. It saddens my heart that the Board of Trustees decided not to show up, and it saddens my heart even further because they're trying to basically produce their own form of government, if you ain't saw it yet. Currently now, we are in need of a VA and also a village administrator, so people understand what PA is, and a village attorney. Today we will discuss that, and I don't need them here to make my appointments, so I'm still going to move forward with the process.
Point of contention. I think you do. Because otherwise, what is the point of having trustees? That's why we have votes, right? Did we have a majority? No, we didn't. All right. Issue doesn't pass. So, I mean, just getting into this stuff, I mean, shenanigans all day long. They just never quit.
I just want to make it crystal clear because I want to make sure that people can hear what their mayor has to say. I got a lot of things to report to you this evening. Again, later on, I'm going to do a state of address to my village so people can understand what's going on. Get those answers to questions that many may have. And if you have questions, you can always email us. Can't email me because I only have email. That's how big it has gotten. So I just want you to understand what's going on before we move forward. First, I'm going to allow my department head to speak because they owe you an explanation as it relates to what goes on with their departments. So it's not village business. We're not voting on anything. We're just going to talk to you about, hey, we're doing this in public works. We're doing this in the fire department so that the public will understand what's going on in each department. And if you do have questions, stay after. You can ask them, talk to them. But I just want to make it crystal clear. And for the record, Trustee Stan Brown is here. And also Trustee Andrew Holmes is here. Both trustees showed up as they always do to make sure they take care of the business of our village. First, we're going to.
So Stan, I was just riding a bike. He's there. I mean, he's at least showing up, right? For a meeting that isn't a meeting. And then we've got Uncle Drew. We've got Andrew Holmes, who just got subpoenaed, he's there too. He's clearly supporter Tiffany Henyard. So they have a bunch of speakers. You've got somebody from police, public works, all that good stuff.
What that tells me is that we're doing a great job for our citizens. And the trustees have made a decision to disrupt those services that we offer to our citizens. So Mayor, I just want to put that on the record. Thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you so much for your support. And we're going to do everything that we can to continue to service our residents, because this letter lets me know that our work is not in vain. Thank you. That is my report.
Thank you so much. As you can see, Kim and also Will, both of their emails have been shut down here in our village, and they cannot run their departments. It saddens my heart because they didn't have a plan. They just came in and started attacking. And that's what we mean by political attacks, political retaliation towards individuals that do the day-to-day. What people don't understand is the legislative branch, which is the Board of Trustees, they do not run the day-to-day operation. So while they're trying to impede on the duties of the executive branch, which is normally the village administrator, and it trickles down, it's sad because they cannot get access to an email, let alone myself. And I'm the mayor of the town. I don't even have access to my own email. So these are the little petty fights that we have that's getting spilled over to national media. And it's sad because you would think people will want to do what's right and want people to have access to everything in their village. As I stated before, I ran for this seat and won this seat. Yes, by 82% of the vote. And when I won this seat, I took over in 2021. And from there, it's like people had their mind made up on how they wanted to handle myself. In 2 weeks into becoming the mayor, get sworn in, I was faced with decisions by the Board of Trustees, and it's the four that I always speak of, saying that they want to control me. They wanted me to do something that I wasn't willing to do. They then initiated a recall on me. I had to fight that. They then initiated going and hijacking the bank account. I told y'all about that. These all the things that happened while in the seat. And these are people that I brought across the finish line. People that never, ever, ever won a seat ever. They ran for office several different times and never won. So all I'm saying to you guys is wake up, pay attention, do your research on everybody. Can't be just, I want to research the mayor. Research everybody, then you'll understand the fight. You'll understand why things is the way it is. Because when we took over, we came and cleaned up the Village of Dolton. People been waiting on trees to get cut, alleys to get paid, streets to get paid, sidewalks to get paid. Whereas they had to pay 50% just to pay the sidewalk. Where they do that? And the reason why I say it is you can't take the sidewalk with you. It don't add value to your house. But yet you had to pay 50%. So if the bill was $5,000, you had to pay $2,500. No one does that in any other city, but Dolton was doing that. These are different things that we had to clean up when I got here. And when I got here, we moved really fast. And what I mean by it is, when they got a complaint, I told them, please make sure you take care of the residents. All they care about is service, because they've been neglected for so many years. And as I stated before, I grew here. Everybody else grew here. So when people come in thinking they got an opinion of my city, you're mistaken. Because I grew up here when it was strictly white. Now it's majority black. So all I'm saying to you is it's been a big change, a big difference, and I still want to uplift my community and I want to grow my community. But I will not be bullied. I will not be assaulted. I will not be so many words that I want to say that I ain't gonna say. Thank you. So all I'm saying to you is enough, and we have to start now by fighting back and taking our community back. And it starts with us as the people. Because at the end of the day, guys, we are the ones that have to benefit. We are the ones that have to live in this city.
That alarm has been going off since way before the meeting started, like 45 minutes before the meeting started. There's this alarm. Now, Tiff, super mayor, she is constantly on the offense now. She's saying all of these things happened to her. You know, she's pushing back on the defensive moves, but now she is saying, this is what I am doing. So she is kind of justifying her actions. Because today in this meeting, she hires 2 new people for the Village of Dolton without trustee approval. Just like, what are you doing? And then we've got the super defense attorney here and his sidekick here. Now, the only reason you bring two attorneys to a meeting is typically if you're in court, because otherwise that is an expensive non-trustee meeting, right? Because this isn't a meeting. This is just people talking. None of this is official. So let's keep going.
Are the ones that gotta make the change and be the example of the change, because our youth are watching what we do today. And if we don't change it, it would never, ever change. But we have to band together and unify our community. That's why I stated in the beginning of this, just stay tuned, because I am going to do a state of address to my city, to my village, to my community, to the residents. Because there's a lot of things that you guys need to know that you probably don't even know about. Because there's so much clickbait, there's so much negativity, there's so much misinformation. It's now time to clear up the misinformation. And in doing so, I'm gonna make sure I have a calm, collective atmosphere like this. Because just pay attention to who bring all the drama to your community. Where all the hecklers that's normally in the crowd, they're not here today. Where everybody that got something to say when everybody up here talking, giving their opinion. That's how you know everybody are.
They only show up to real meetings. Why would they show up to this one? We know Tiffany Henyard is she's just gonna do a bunch of psychobabble, right? And that's what she's doing. And then very soon, she brings in her attorney, who the psychobabble it gets elevated to another level.
In the audience, because now today we can talk to you and you can hear us. The whole thing is making sure that you can hear what each side has to say. It should not have to always be chaos or a show. That's why the media is here 24/7, because it's a show, which they make money off of. Don't get me wrong, they make money off views, and so do the YouTubers. So all I'm saying to you guys is now, stand with your mayor, and let's do what's right and rebuild our community. Let's show them that we can bring it all together, and we don't have to wait till something bad happens for us to say, hey, you know what, enough is enough. We're going to take a stand today, we're going to make it right. That's all I want. Next, I ain't forget about you.
So she continually paints a picture that we are here because we're making money, but she never identifies the problem that we're here. You and I are here. I'm a YouTuber. You are a YouTube viewer, subscriber, whatever, is because of her absolute crazy show as mayor and supervisor of trustees. It's because of her actions, her decisions, and her influence over everything else that has impacted things so negatively. That's why we're here. But she kind of wants to be able to basically involve her supporters and say, it's them. They're really coming after me. And we know that not to be true. I wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here if there weren't just shenanigans for days, right? Just absolute shenanigans. Let's keep going. Let's see, we're going to get to 1:11. Yeah, here's some speeches by folks that we don't really care about. We just want the good stuff. Let's get right into that.
I know the residents and also the employees are scared due to the actions of the trustees. I just want to clear that up. So he said what he said, but I want to make sure you understand what's going on. Again, they don't run that today. They snout letters to the staff, threatening them about their jobs. That's what the Board of Trustees have done. I have proof of all of this, but yet they keep up the mess and the tension in our village, and it has to stop. Yeah, it sounds good to say we all should get along and we all should this and that. They know it's election time. If y'all don't understand what's going on right now, it is election time. We are all running in 2025 in February. So everybody got to sit here and pull one down or the other down or say something negative about somebody. But because they can't beat me, they have to do a smear campaign. And they're using the news to do it. Because if you could beat me, you wouldn't have any of this going on. Because when I ran against Riley Rogers, Bill Shaw, Trustee Holmes was in it as well. I didn't use any of this. I just ran for the seat. I didn't go and try to destroy anybody. All I did was run for the seat, and that's what everybody should do. But they utilizing all these different outlets to try to overcome your super mayor, because I am the people's mayor. And I am the one that always is visible and is on the street. That is me. It's always has been me.
Agreed. She's very visible. 100% agreed. Everything else? No. So much of this stuff is just wildly transparent, isn't it? You're just like, no, that's not what's going on. It's not election time. These are shenanigans that have been going on since the beginning of her, being mayor of Dolton. This stuff has ramped up. And I think she's taken advantage of, the Village of Dolton and Township of Thornton. Now she's got to deal with it. And now she's got attorneys, sitting in on non-meetings.
I'm always feed your family. I'm always play with your kids. I'm going to always uplift them. I'm always pass the baton. And I'm always going to encourage them to say, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. And for those that don't understand or don't think it can't happen to them, I always say this: me today, you tomorrow. This ain't nothing but a playbook for somebody else in another community to go through what we going through. Because they think it's the right thing and it's not. It's wrong. No mayor would allow a board of trustees to come and overtake their office. And I'm not going to stand for it. And therefore, that's why you see me with attorneys. And that's why you see me appointing today the people that I see fit to help me get back control of my village. Help me make sure that the residents nor the employees are afraid to come to work. Because people are afraid to talk to people. They want to say, put things in emails, when normally we talk to people. We're not a robot. You normally communicate with each other as relates to that department or what's needed for the resident. Whether it's go cut the grass, whether it's pick up branches that they cut down. When did we stop being human? And that's the problem I have. We have to learn how to love on each other. That's why y'all always hear me say, I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. We have to lead with love. They're forgetting that. That's the big part of this that we're missing. We are a small community. We are a village. It's normally what? A village raising a community. That's how I grew up here in Dolton. All neighbors helped each other. We went over each other's houses. People babysitted you until your parents came home when you got out of school. They helped you with your homework. They fed you. That's what Dolton was about. And all I'm trying to do is bring that love back, because we're missing that. But we can't keep pointing the finger at one person when it's all of us. It's everybody. That's why you want to really hear that state of address. That's why you really want to hear what I have to say. Because there's always two sides to the story. Well, my grandfather and grandma are different. They say it's three sides. They always say it's your side, their side, and the truth. But we have to get to that point. You guys are making rash decisions off of one-sided narrative. And the fake news don't make it no better. Because they run with one-sided narrative. And I don't appreciate that, because y'all come here, y'all take.
Hey, I'm waiting for the other side. I'm waiting for the information. I'm waiting for the proof. And you're absolutely right. It's buffoonery. It's nonsense, right? And she's always saying the media is just, not giving her a fair chance. Hey, we're listening. We're waiting. How about those Freedom of Information Acts? How about those requests? Where are those? WGN had to basically sue the Village of Dolton to get any information, and Township of Thornton gave up theirs. Village of Dolton, we're still waiting. So where's that other side? I want to hear it as well, right?
My clips off of my Facebook, off my social media, off my Instagram. So obviously y'all really follow the super mayor. Y'all really love me because I'm making y'all a ton of money, like y'all here today. And you're gonna go play it, but you're gonna twist it all, and that's what I don't appreciate. Twist everything we say up here. People are.
What's interesting is we don't have to twist anything. We take exactly what you say and look at the situation and go, this doesn't make any sense at all. Because there's a massive disconnect between what is being told and the reality. And so that's why there's so many Freedom of Information requests is, hey, we want to get to the truth here because we are not being told the truth. So it's not twisting things. It's actually trying to get to the bottom of it. And that's why this is such a big story, right?
I'm telling you what's going on in the departments. Won't you post that? Won't you run that? I've never seen you guys saying a different narrative as relates to what the Board of Trustees are doing. Did you know they hijacked the bank account again? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know they literally trying to steal money from our village? The Board of Trustees. This ain't me saying something, because I don't sit here and just say stuff on people. I talk about things I can prove, that I can have receipts for. So all I'm saying to y'all is, wake up, ask questions. Like I said, I thought you guys would do research before you go and just advertise what somebody's opinion is. Y'all don't. Anybody got something negative to say about the Village of Dolton, you guys just air it. And that's not fair to our community. And I would like you to stop. I've asked you guys, I threw out an olive branch, I said, let's talk. You guys just don't want to talk, because I guess it's too much money in a negative campaign. So again, I just hope that you guys will see a different side. I hope you will hear a different side and showcase a different side. Next, I'm gonna give the floor to Bo Bruni. He's one of my attorneys, and he's gonna speak as relates to what's going on, so you can get it from a different person than the mayor. Because every time I speak, it's like on deaf ears. So I'll let legal speak to you.
This is good. I believe Stan Brown had to leave at this point. He got to go. He left during the meeting.
Folks, there have been questions in the news, questions on social media about who we are and what we are doing, why we are here with Mayor Henyard. And I would like to take this opportunity to answer those questions so there can be no doubt. My name is Bo Brindle. Sitting next to me is my associate Edward McDavid. People have called me the mayor's criminal defense attorney. I saw that on the news. But that is incorrect. I do not represent Mayor Tiffany Henyard in a criminal capacity, because Mayor Tiffany Henyard is not charged with any crimes. Mayor Tiffany Henyard has not committed.
Which begs the question, why did she hire a criminal defense attorney? You go to his webpage and it's all about aggressive defense attorney. So why'd you hire a defense attorney? And he tries to explain it away, but it doesn't make sense. He's expecting you to not recognize that he's a defense attorney, and yet he's being, hired because there's a total disconnect.
Any crimes. But I will tell you why it is when I have been engaged by the mayor.
Okay.
Mayor Henyard came to see me and asked to engage my office to represent her, because Mayor Tiffany Henyard is under attack. Make no mistake about it, Mayor Henyard is under attack. She is under attack by a corrupt board of trustees that believes that they can subvert the will of the people and take over the mayor's office and the mayor's duties without ever winning that election. She is under attack by underhanded political machine attorneys who control this board. That's what's going on. This attack comes.
That is absolute nonsense. That's 100% nonsense.
In the form of false statements. This attack comes in the form of frivolous lawsuits and unconstitutional recall efforts. This attack comes in the form of outright illegal conduct committed by this Board of Trustees. Blatant violations of statutes. Blatant violations of the village code. Mayor Henyard has hired me to stand up to these people and to help her take back the mayor's office from corrupt influences that threaten it. And that is why we are here, and that is what we intend to do. Let's be clear about a few things. To begin with, when there is a need for a financial evaluation of a municipality, who is the person that you think ought to do such an evaluation? You would think that you would get a forensic accountant with knowledge of accounting principles to give a fair evaluation and tell you the truth. What did the Board of Trustees do? They hired the failed mayor of Chicago, who is notable primarily for financial questions, financial malfeasance, and financial failures in Chicago. They hired that political actor to do the evaluation. When you do that, you're not seeking a fair answer about money. When you do that, you are seeking political fear, and that is not in the interest of the people, especially not when they want to pay this failed former mayor tens of thousands of dollars of your money to do this evaluation. When you do that, it's not government. It's corruption. And that stops now. After Mayor Henyard was elected, it was the Board of Trustees that brought to Mayor Henyard a municipal expert, so they said. A so-called municipal expert. A man who was supposed to be knowledgeable at all levels regarding village financial resource management, among other things. This man was Keith Freeman. Keith Freeman was appointed by Mayor Henyard because the Board of Trustees said he was an expert. And she listened to Keith Freeman. She relied on Keith Freeman to manage the village finances.
So this is where we throw Keith Freeman absolutely under the bus. It's all his fault. The supermayor had nothing to do with this.
When he told her, this is how things are done, this is what mayors do, this is how we do things, she believed him. She trusted him. And when she realized that his actions were not in the interest of the people, that they were not on the lever, what did she do? She fired him. She terminated him. I sat here. Well, she fired him in public after having already fired him in writing. But since then, at every turn, she has had a problem. Mayor Henyard has the right to appoint, and she has the right to terminate. That's the law. That's the mayor's right. That's her power. Okay? That's her power. But at every time we turn around, the Board of Trustees has stepped in and they are insisting that this man, who has mismanaged village resources beyond belief, they insist that he's still employed. They are empowered to keep sending out these emails and pretending to be the village administrator. They insist on keeping a person that everybody agrees squandered and mismanaged the resources of this village. They want this corrupt individual to remain. Well, she has terminated him again and again and again.
Which is what makes everybody think that he is probably an FBI informant. And that's why the supermayor is so intent on getting him out of there. She only fired him when the report came back from Lori Lightfoot. Now, what the attorney says about a forensic accountant, that would normally be the case. But I think there are such broad strokes shenanigans that the supermayor is committed that it doesn't take a forensic accountant to figure this out. And a forensic accountant is only as good as the set of books that they're given, right? They can't make up data out of nowhere. Well, Village of Dolton doesn't have a budget. They don't have books. They don't really have anything. So they're relying upon somebody to come in. And what they did is they looked at the bank statements. Lori Lightfoot did interviews with people. That's why they brought her in, because they figured, well, people will probably talk to, former mayor. Well, let's give this a run. And Lori Lightfoot was able to put together enough of a picture that all of a sudden, Tiffany Henyard, the super mayor, she's got to start firing some folks because it doesn't look good. There's been zero explanation by the super mayor's administration or herself on all of these numbers. She just keeps saying, well, I'm going to have a State of the Union address. I'm really going to show you what's going on. All right, I'm listening. I'll live stream that. You betcha. Absolutely. And it never comes, right? It just never comes.
They have interfered with the mayor's power. They interfered with the mayor's executive power that only she maintained. And they don't get to do that. When they do that, when they get in the way and prevent her from terminating somebody that everybody agrees is a menace to this community, when they get in the way of that, they violate the law. And that stops now.
No.
Governance, folks, is only successful if there is what everybody hears and everybody talks about, the balance of power. The mayor has power.
So a few of the comments from the live stream here. Yes, this individual right here, his sole purpose was to hand his boss the microphone. That's his job. He literally just stares out into space. And the reason we are listening to the Tiff's Tahoe Tiff, her attorney, is because this isn't a board meeting. This board meeting was canceled. They're just showing up, and whomever is there can talk and do whatever. So this is kind of like a pretend board meeting, but a lot of folks have likened to what we're listening to right here is opening arguments in a criminal trial, because you've got a criminal attorney. Go to his website. I mean, it's just plastered over there, aggressive criminal defense. So, yeah.
As the executive. The board has powers as a legislative branch, and they are separate according to law. They are separate because only if both maintain their independence can we have fair governance. But when the board takes it upon itself to illegally take over the powers of the mayor, then there is no governance. All of the problems that I hear the folks up here from the various departments describing, those problems stem from the absence of governance. And the reason we have no governance in the village is because these powers are not separate. Because the Board of Trustees has taken it upon itself to try to take away the power of the mayor. This meeting is a perfect example of that. To cancel a regular meeting of this board, there are rules, folks. You don't get to make them up on your own whenever you feel like it, because you don't like the mayor, or you want to make her look bad, or you want to exercise control and act like you're in charge. They're not in charge. The mayor's the executive. That's the law. There is a law. It is called the Open Meetings Act. Got it right here in front of me. Okay? The Open Meetings Act says, you know what you got to do to cancel one of these meetings? You got to give 10 days of notice. 10 days of notice to the public. Certainly notice to the mayor. You know what they did? They didn't give you any notice at all. One of the members of...
All right, the Open Meeting Act. He is correct. But literally, Illinois Attorney General, this afternoon, this meeting is at 6:30. Say it's, what is it? It's probably 8 o'clock at night. 6 hours earlier in that day, Illinois Attorney General said to Tiffany Henyard as the mayor, hey, you got to run these meetings according to Open Meeting Act. So Tiffany Henyard's attorney is trying to spin it both ways. But the brutal reality is that the village is scrambling, trying to get their information together, trying to get a budget together. They are scrambling, trying to plug all the holes of their financial, just, this mismatch of just incredible overspending and budgets that aren't, they don't even have a budget. They've got all of this stuff going on. And we'll hear from the rest of the trustees why they canceled the meeting last minute. And yeah, they probably don't have the legal right to do that. Okay. But they're not doing it because they are trying to aggressively, throw Tiffany Henyard out. They're doing what they're doing to try and figure out where they sit and what their next game plan is. And if they go into a meeting and they don't have the information together, the decisions together that they need to have together, they're always coming from behind. And that's what the attorney is kind of hitting on. And he's taking advantage of the fact that they did cancel the meeting last minute. We haven't heard why yet, but we will. And it'll probably make sense-ish, right?
The board didn't even know. The mayor was not even contacted by the Board of Trustees. We had to find out through underground means what
would that be? Underground means.
That power to just cancel a meeting at the whim of the Board of Trustees is a power they do not possess. They claim a power they do not possess. And that is the last thing you want in your legislature. The claiming of powers they do not have. That stops. Now, recently, the mayor's political opponent, her actual opponent, Jason House, started signing checks for the village. Signing his name as if he had the authority to write checks for your money to pay for things that he wanted to pay. Like their lawyer, who she refused to pay. He signed the checks as if he had that right, despite the fact that there is a court order that says only the mayor has that authority to put that signature in that place on those checks. He did it anyway because he wanted to. Because he decided he wants to be mayor now. He doesn't want to wait till the people speak. Well, folks, he don't get to do that, okay? He does not get to do that. This man somehow believes that he can hijack the office of the mayor and take it over before an election happens and before any votes are counted.
Andrew Holmes.
Think about that. Here's this, right? Think about that. When a political opponent takes over, hijacks the office of an elected official, what would you call it? What could it be called? It cannot be called anything but what it is. Political corruption of the worst kind. And it's happening. It's happening here in the Village of Dolton. It's happening today with respect to this meeting. It's happening with a drawer full of checks that he signed and tried to pass off as legitimate checks. Misappropriation of your money. And luckily the mayor's been able to get.
So he's talking about the 589 checks that sat in a drawer. We don't know where they are. Maybe they got destroyed. Who knows? 589 checks for a total of $6.1 million for outstanding invoices that the Village of Dolton has not paid. Now, it's my understanding that that Mayor Tiffany, she's the one that basically orchestrated, well, we don't have enough money in the budget to cover a lot of this. So let's not pay the bills, but we'll tell them your check has been written. It's in the mail. I'll love you in the morning. All that stuff. So so when you've got a massive budget deficit and you have a cash flow issue, you don't have the money and you've got incoming bills. That's what you do. So the attorney here is trying to pin it on Jason House now, saying, well, somebody wrote some checks and they shouldn't have. These people are owed money. This village is just, from a financial standpoint, they're hammered. They're beat down because of financial mismanagement. And who's at the top? The mayor. So you can only spin this so far before you run out of people to look at and you go, you know what? Let's be honest. Let's be real. This is the mayor's issue and it's on her and she knows it's on her, but she's doing the very best she can to, create a different narrative. And that's why she's hired an expensive attorney. And you guys keep talking about R. Kelly's. Is he R. Kelly's attorney? I think he might be. I think I might have read that. If you don't know who R. Kelly is, he's had some legal issues and he may or may not be in, prison.
Get a hold of and curtail. Folks, Mayor Henyard came into this office as someone with vision, with youth. And of course, the corollary to that is that she comes with a degree of inexperience. That's a fact. But Mayor Henyard may be young, Mayor Henyard may be inexperienced. But Jason House, the Board of Trustees, the lawyers who control them and pull the strings, none of those people should mistake the mayor's youth for weakness. Because Mayor Henyard will stand up to power. She always has. She always will. She will stand up against a political opponent who chooses personal ambition over the will of the people. She will stand up to a board of trustees that chooses illegality over order. And she will stand up to their power broker political system attorneys who choose bullying and intimidation over proper legal discourse. She has brought me here to make sure that that stops now. We are here to stand with the mayor and put a stop to all of it, and to make sure that nobody interferes with the will of the people who elected her to do this job. The people are the ones who decide. And with that, Mayor, let's get back to the business of the meeting.
It ain't so, Bo.
What?
You said a lot of great facts that you guys should really
Facts.
spoke from the heart. I appreciate that. It's a lot of things going on, like I said, that y'all don't report, that y'all don't talk about. It's people like myself, it's people like staff up here that can tell you things, but you only on one side. So hopefully, moving forward, you will change your ways and come and talk to us and get our side as well before you just put something on the news. Because again, y'all got a national platform, so people tend to believe what people say on a national platform. But yet y'all not understanding how you put us in jeopardy, our safety, our community. We have people that fly in from Washington, from Texas, who's at meetings, they get up at podiums and say where they're from, and got an opinion about what's going on around here. We didn't know half of it. They just offer what they see on the news. So please, I'm asking for the olive branch once again to not post things that's not true, because you are putting myself, my teammates, also the staff and the residents in harm's way, because people are coming from all over just to see what's going on or to be on the news. So just try to be a little more cautious.
We're not on the news. You're on the news, Mayor Tiffany. That's reality. That's reality. We're not here because you're doing a great job as a mayor. We're here because it's an absolute you-know-what show. So you bring this on yourself, and then you try and spin it as, hey, why don't you talk about the truth? Well, we are. That's the problem. We've just got this definition of, the origins of truth here.
As it relates to reporting fake news. Next, we're going to move forward with two other things. Again, I just stated to you guys that they call themselves council a meeting. They don't have no power as a council board meeting. On here, we also have the mayor veto. There's several things that we are vetoing. I'm just naming a couple of them real quick. One is Jason House trying to add himself to the bank account. They made an ordinance, which again, we don't even have that ordinance in our possession. They also tried to write an ordinance for committees. That's something that's governed by the mayor's office. And you should always go read the state statute. That way you understand what it is we're saying. And then also the layoffs. They also tried to do layoffs at the last meeting. Again, something else that was illegal. So if you want the facts, please research before you just assume what the truth is. I want to put that into the record so people know that I am going to still do my mayor's veto at the next scheduled board meeting, which will be next month in October. Next, we're gonna do our appointment. You guys know that we have not been with a village attorney for quite some time, and what I mean by it is, it was somebody that was here, their battle law firm as village counsel, but right now, which the news already have, which y'all reported this, they gave back the 22 cases due to the board not paying them for the cases, so we had no coverage as relates to our village, and that's what I'm saying about the Board of Trustees. Instead of doing these political fights, you have to do what's right, because right now you're having our community at jeopardy. So when someone sues us, someone has to represent us, and they want their legislative council to represent us, Bert Oderson, and right now he is not the village attorney, nor does the board have the power to appoint any lawyers to any other cases. But that's
Isn't the attorney that spoke a personal criminal defense attorney? Yes, he is her personal criminal attorney, but she is not she doesn't have any charges against her. So her bringing him to the meeting does not really impact anything, because he's just there just to talk. He's not being asked about any of the legality of anything going on with the Village of Dolton. He's just basically there as a mouthpiece for Tiffany Henyard. That's what's so amazing about this. And then over here, you've got, this is the new village attorney that Tiffany just installed herself. And I don't believe he's saying that she can do that. I don't believe that is legally the case. But again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know, the legality of that. But I'm hoping I'm answering your question. I don't think it's a conflict, because they're not talking about any legal issues here. They're just talking. And so if he were to step in on village issues, that would be a massive conflict.
the strong arming that I'm telling you about.
Thank you for the super chat. Speed limit challenger.
But I just want to make it crystal clear of what's going on. And currently today, I am exercising my right, my executive branch, which is appointment power, to appoint Lakeside Legal, Miss Attorney Lockett. She's going to be our new counsel. Y'all give it up for her.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to say I look forward to working very hard for the citizens in the Village of Dolton, and I'm hoping that we can all do a good job and do what needs to be done for the citizens.
All right, thank you so much. Welcome on board. My next appointment will be for village administrator. The next person.
So she just, hey, we're hiring this person without going through the full process. Just a complete. I mean, it's so wild to watch this happen, and everybody just sits there pretending that this is the real deal. This is what's normal. This is how we do it. And so at the next board trustee meeting, board meeting, it's who knows what that's going to look like, right? Because now they've got to go against this. I mean, you've got a massive power struggle here, and she's bringing in new people, and you're like, okay, who's going to give us our final ruling here? You know what I mean? From a municipal standpoint, who has the ability to do that? It's crazy stuff.
Point today, Michael, come on up here. You go to the podium. Michael Smith will be the new village administrator for the Village of Dolton. And the reason for Mike is he has a wealth of great information. He's a young person and ex-politician. He knows the laws like the back of his hand. I'm all about passing the baton and letting people come and show what they can do, especially here in our village. So welcome on board, Mike Smith.
I'd like to thank the residents as well as the mayor. Look forward to working with each and every one of you guys to ensure that the Village of Dolton is moving in a positive direction. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I look forward to seeing what you're about to do. You're going to come shake some stuff.
Notice how short those speeches were? They know that high probability I am probably not the village administrator. We've already got one. and we don't have the ability to hire the village attorney the way that Tiffany Henyard is doing here. So again, just these power struggle, massive disconnect, but let's just roll it out as if it's reality. That's what we're watching. Hey, this is what we're doing. Okay.
I know you are. And when you teach them law, they don't know the laws, please do. Also, we have a assistant DA. I'm not going to announce the person. They said don't put their name out. But they, and I'm not going to say he or she, they will be doing a great job as well. They will be assisting Michael Smith along the way. So as you have, you guys, we have a new village attorney, and then we have a new village administrator. So to my staff, we're working on the emails because that's another individual that got threatened by the Board of Trustees. They sent a letter over to him saying that if he did not do what they said, that he will be terminated and he will be replaced within 24 hours or something like that. I have the letter news if you want the letter to advertise so you can see the bullying going on in my community by the Board of Trustees to the staff. So a lot of people are scared. So right now, tomorrow, the lawyer and the new VA get all that in order. So to my employees, just stay tuned. We will get the emails back up. We will make sure that you feel safe coming to work and that you don't feel like you're in a hostile environment. So I look forward to work with everybody. Anybody got any concerns? Michael Smith is in the back. You can start getting it to him right now so he can start addressing them tomorrow. And then if you got anything for the new attorney, please address her with any of your concerns as well. Thank you so much for coming out. I look forward to doing the state of address. That's going to be really epic. You're going to want to hear what I have to say about all the messages
we do.
going on, all the evidence that I have, all the receipts that I have that I will showcase to you during that state of address. We will announce it, and then I know the media has been talking with Bob Brinley about upcoming things, so you can talk to him as relates to the state of address if you would like to cover that for your news station. So thank you again for coming out, residents. I look forward to this new movement. Thank you.
Okay, watch this guy. Okay, so the reason I kept going here is this gives you an idea right here of just how few people are here. Now, you've got some folks in here that are part and parcel. They're always here, but the vast majority of people are not there from the village because this isn't a real meeting. This was an opportunity that the supermayor took, knowing that everybody else from all the other trustees wouldn't be there. So she got her attorney in there. I mean, how many meetings has the supermayor has she canceled? I mean, since I've been covering this, a bunch, right? A bunch. So here you get the feeling, okay, there's nobody here. So all of this was just basically a huge show for the mayor. That's what it was. It was her opportunity to bring in her attorney, to appoint some people, to show her power, to basically state that she is on the right side of things and she will show what's coming up. And that's what we keep hearing is that she's going to bring us something. She's going to bring us something. She's going to really show us what the real deal is. She doesn't have anything. This is what she's got. This right here is all she has from a PR standpoint, is having an attorney, R. Kelly's attorney, talk and basically give us the state of the world according to them, when in reality, the mayor is the one that's been responsible. She's at the top. If there's any financial mismanagement, ultimately it's her deal. And we know it is. We know there's been mismanagement, all kinds of different directions here. Dolton's embattled mayor addressed the public and took new action involving village officials on Tuesday. Tuesday's night's regularly scheduled Board of Trustee meeting was canceled because there was not enough trustees present. They just didn't show up. 4 out of the 6 didn't show. But Mayor Tiffany Henyard still showed up, appointed a village administrator and village attorney. And then Dolton Trustee Jason House told ABC7 those appointments are not valid, they are not legal, and the appointees will not be paid. How would you like to be that attorney? Hey, we're going to appoint you as village attorney. Okay, I am an attorney and I am not convinced this is legal, but hey, gets my name out there, so why not? Let's roll with this and see what happens. This is the other piece. This comes on the same day the Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul's office issued a binding opinion saying that Dolton repeatedly violated the Open Meetings Act this summer. Remember when the mayor had all of the driveways nearby blocked off, coned off? She said it was for security because somebody sent her a nasty letter. Okay, whatever. But you got a lot of senior citizens. Senior citizens are a big pull for the super mayor. And she basically just excluded them, made them walk far away. A lot of them are in wheelchairs. They have a tough time getting around, made it hard for people to get to these meetings on purpose. On purpose. So Illinois Attorney General comes out and says, hey, Raoul is ordering Dolton to make all future meetings convenient and open to the public. Based on the Open Meeting Act, right? That includes ensuring there's enough space and not closing streets or putting up parking barricades. They barricaded the streets so people would have to walk blocks, just basically making it very dangerous. You didn't have a cop on any of these, street corners. You just made it difficult for people to get to the meetings on purpose. And then you locked up, town hall and excluded people. There's been just so many different, basically violations of the law or violations of protocol, the Open Meetings Act, to the point where Illinois Attorney General is stepping in and saying, hey, you got to have these things open. And that's having the meetings open is kind of the least of the Village of Dolton's worries at this point in time. But I think the speech from the attorney, from her defense attorney, that really kind of tells where we sit, because Tiffany Henyard knows she's in a world of hurt. So she's going to try and claw her way out. She's going to try and create a new narrative. But what she doesn't understand, and she's correct, that it is a national audience watching this. And it's because it's been such a bunch of ridiculousness and shenanigans going on. That's why we're tuning in. We're like, I can't believe this is happening. And that's what I see each and every one of these, like this meeting here. Where else do you see this happening? You know what I mean? Just hiring people left and right. Some people, may have a job. They might not have a job. Who's got access to the bank account? Who's writing checks? I mean, you can see how with the lack of leadership and with the lack of basically ability to run a village, and this is not a huge village. This is 23,000 people. It's wild stuff. It's crazy stuff. All right. That's it for me on this one. I think I'm going to do a couple of smaller segments out of this. So stay tuned. Thanks for being here on the live stream. But that's where we sit right now. We've got stuff coming up. We don't know what it is, but guaranteed we'll be hearing something about the subpoena on Uncle Drew. And we'll just have to see where that goes. Exciting stuff. Thanks again for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.